Hello and welcome to Single Parent Success Stories. Today's guest comes to us from Michigan. Her name is Stacey Forbes. She is a single mom of 3 girls, and she lives currently with her 2 youngest daughters and a collection of furry friends she affectionately calls her funny farm. Stacey is an event coordinator with a luxury jewelry company and has recently started her own business, the Mindful V.A. Stacey loves anything outdoors, reading, traveling, and spending time with her friends. Welcome, Stacey. It is a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I am well. I am well. The sun is up and it's a beautiful day here in Michigan.
Awesome. Awesome. So please share with us your story. How did you become a single parent?
Oh goodness. I became a single parent. I'm going to say it was about 12 years ago. I left a very abusive, controlling marriage and struck out on my own with my 2 little ladies. They were 6 and 8 at the time. And I just thought that wasn't the environment I wanted to raise them in. It just was very unhealthy, both for myself and them. And it wasn't the example of how I wanted them to grow up. It wasn't what I wanted to show them is a relationship. I mean, you can still have a father and not live with the man. you know but we struggled because it was such an abusive situation, and when I left it actually worsened. So I definitely won't say it was easy. It was definitely worth it, however. It was definitely worth it, and to this day they look back and they don't talk about the bad things. They don't talk about the marriage or the fighting or anything like that. They talk about with smiles what they learned, how resourceful mom was, and how we learned to do everything on our own, and it just made them stronger as well. And hopefully my struggles weren't really their struggles, it was just their journey.
Right, right. And what was some of the struggles that you faced? Were that financial, emotional?
All of it. The first time, I'm twice divorced, and so this was my first, and by far the hardest. I had no clue what I was doing. I mean, I knew how to cook and clean and work, but to do it all on my own, and to my biggest struggles were financial. Definitely. I felt like I was always working. I was working a full-time job. I was working a part-time job at a bar restaurant behind us on the corner on the water. And then at Christmas time, of course, I don't want that to affect them. I'd work another job in retail. So the big struggle was the guilt over feeling I was not spending enough time with them. And then, of course, financial. I was receiving no help from their father because he was determined to torture me and punish me and make life as difficult as he could for me. Therefore, hurting the girls as well, but they were just casualties of his war. So financial and the guilt and time were my biggest struggles.
Mhm. If you could go back in time, would you do anything differently?
I wouldn't. I would not. I did the very best I could while still sheltering them and making life fun. To hear them talk now, they're grown, they're adults, they're in their 20s. They talk about how much fun they had during that time. I was renting a duplex, kind of in a divided home near the water, and they spent time at the water, and they went to the park and they rode their bikes, and things that I looked at as a struggle was kind of adventurous for them. They learned to cut the grass, and they learned to cook and to help out. And so to them, they look back and smile, and it was fun. And so it was worth every every sore muscle, every tear that I cried to get through, because they were happy. And that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, yeah. How would you say, what was the difference between single parenting now and versus 15 years ago?
Oh gosh. So many different things. Okay, so this is my second marriage, and obviously it wasn't a happy situation if I had to leave it again, but it was a completely opposite situation. It wasn't abuse, it was just more absenteeism. He just wasn't there for me, for Ashley, for the family. He just wasn't there. She was kind of like being a single mom while married. Hey, he doesn't get those benefits. So, I'm older and I've learned, and so there's the piece that I'm wiser. I've been through it. I can navigate resources better. But now in this age, it seems to me there are so many more resources, and technology is a big game changer. We can go online and we can find resources more easily, or we have our online communities like this one. I mean, support is everything, to everybody, but especially a single mom, because sometimes nobody gets it like another single mom, so we get it and we support each other. And just even our friend groups that I think technology has made easier. We can Zoom like this. We can stay connected without having to leave our home, which time is such a big thing with single moms. We don't feel like we have time for our friends. And so the technology really makes a difference, both in our emotional support. And there's so many more opportunities to mothers to work from home. That wasn't a thing then. If you wanted to work from home, you're going to do daycare, right?
Yeah.
And that's not always possible for everybody. So there's just so many more differences between now and 15 years ago for single moms.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think is the most important trait to instill in a child?
The most important trait, I would say, would be true to yourself. Especially for, and I can't speak for all children of single moms, but sometimes I feel a lot of responsibility that's not really theirs, and it's hard to navigate the difference between who they really are and who they feel they have to be. They have to help mom, they have to be strong, and so that they hide a lot of their true selves in order to keep mom happy, or to keep the peace, or dad, it doesn't matter. But single parents, but yeah, to help them be true to themselves, to check in with them, and make sure our little ones or big ones. Mine's 12 now, and oh gosh, navigating that whole preteen thing is pretty tough anyways. But again, as a single mom, it's so important to make sure that they're still being able to be themselves, to be a kid.
Yeah, yeah. It's so true. As we navigate this journey together, and sometimes as a mom, we're always figuring out, am I doing the right thing?
Yes, for sure.
What kind of advice can you give to present single parents who are overwhelmed, who are just starting that single parenting journey?
Oh, I think always, and I have to do this myself quite often, just like with a job, you have to prioritize, right? What's important? What's the most important thing? And sometimes you have to prioritize daily. Is it my mental health today? Do I just really need to cuddle my kids and sit on the couch, or go to the park if you can? Maybe after work if you can't. Or is it, this week, do I really need to come up with an extra $50 for groceries? Because, inflation is high and things are not the same as they were a couple months ago. It seems everything is a little bit harder financially right now.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We get through it. We do. That's what we do. We're single parents, right? We get through it.
Yeah.
Prioritizing, gosh,
Yes. What makes you happy?
what makes me happy? So many little things make me happy. My kids, my girls. I'm a grandmother now. I have two
Wow,
little
you look
granddaughters.
so young.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Bless you. They are 5 and 7, and they are my sun and my stars. So I love my grandbabies so much. Whatever time I get with them is just the best. And I'm grateful for that. But my little fur babies, they make me happy every day. you know, the sunshine. I've created a life and a home and a place that makes me happy, that I'm happy to come home to. So
That's
I'm
wonderful.
happy every day.
What makes your heart sing?
My heart sing. Seeing my girls happy. Um, Gosh, as a parent, I think we can all relate to that. But seeing them happy, hearing my 12-year-old who struggled so much emotionally during COVID and just, you know, with hormones changing and her life changing. I've been divorced 7 years. So, you know, I constantly have to check myself. No, she's not moody because of your divorce. There 7 years ago when she's adjusting. But to hear her in her room singing, that makes my heart sing. You
Oh,
know, to know that she's happy, she is happy, regardless of her little attitude or the the front that she puts on for the world. She's happy, and that makes me happy.
yeah. How was it during COVID?
It was hard. It was so hard. My daughter, she, you know, she was 10 at the time, essentially, when it really hit the fan, and she was frightened. She was scared of everything. She wouldn't leave the home even a year later. She didn't have friends anymore. She wouldn't even connect online with her friends. She was failing in school. She just did terrible with the online schooling. It's not for everybody. Kudos for those who do well with it. It was just really hard. She was angry, she was scared, she was just, it was all the negative emotions that you can have continually. And so it was hard to parent too, because I mean, you love this little person to the moon, but when it's nonstop, you're in the house with her 24/7, and she's nonstop negative and mean and cruel. It was a very trying time for all of us, but we got through it, and she's just again singing again. She's singing again.
Awesome. Awesome. I know I was, how you call it, when the whole online schooling, and I had two kids. So figuring out first for myself what needs to be done, and then teaching them. And the little one was in kindergarten. Like,
Oh, so having to teach a kindergarten through a screen, that's so difficult.
and I still didn't know like what I'm supposed to do.
I don't either. And that was part of the struggle too. Like, and she took advantage of me not knowing, right? I would bring her to my full-time job with me, and she would sit there right next to me. And I knew she was doing the Zoom, and she said she was doing the work. And I said, okay, so I believe her, you're doing it. And then I'd get, oh, she's missing all of the assignments and she's not participating. And I'm like, oh gosh, you know, she knew that I didn't know how to go on and check all that, right? Oh boy. Yeah.
It's like
So she was failing, but she's smart.
like we were going to school all over again for ourselves as
Oh
parents,
gosh, yeah, a
adults.
whole different way, right?
Yeah.
Why was that fun? Not. but but a greater sense of respect for our teachers, that's for sure. I mean, I've always had great respect for our teachers, but wow, what they went through to get these kids through it. And the parents, oh my gosh, trying to deal with me alone. I can't imagine times 30 or 50, right? Oh boy,
Yeah. I don't know how they do that.
I don't either.
What what do you say? What would you say your life so far, your path, where you are in life?
I am so happy and fulfilled with where I am in life. The things that I've learned and the ways that I've grown, even this year alone, this year has been a very big challenge for me professionally and personally. And, you know, I've just grown through it. I've grown through it, and I'm proud of myself, right? I'm proud of what I've done and what I've accomplished and what I've learned. And I have the most incredible, amazing network, my tribe, and they're so different and they're so wonderful. And I'm happy, you know, I'm just so happy and content with where I am now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, it feels great.
What were some of the things you used like to overcome your challenges after coming out, when after you divorced?
Um, Well, this second time around, oh gosh, it's not what anybody wants to say, right? Um, I'm wiser. I know how to prioritize. I know what has to be done. And I know how to do it more efficiently, right? Like I'm working smarter, not harder. Um, and though I may have to work multiple jobs at a time, I do it. I found ways to include my children, right? So I can do it from home, and Ashley's here present with me and can come and just sit on the couch next to me, or I can make her lunch, so I'm present. Or sometimes I have a small cleaning business on the side as well. And she'll come with me. And yeah, she's on her electronics still, but she's with me. Somewhere I'm a little more lenient. So she's with me. And that was, as I mentioned, one of my biggest struggles before was the guilt and the hurt of not spending time with my children like I wanted to. So that's really nice now. I can and I can prioritize better. Okay, Ashley, here's the deal. Communication is so big, right? Even with our kids, we got to be honest with them. So today, mom is working both her jobs. I'm going to be super busy. And these are the times that I'm on a call, that I prefer not to be bothered or interrupted. But you know what? This is what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you to your friends or pick up your friends at this time, and I just walk her through our schedule for the day. So, I communicate with her, but I can prioritize so much better. Because that feeling of overwhelm is so big and so consuming. When you feel overwhelmed, then all the other feelings, all the other bad ones start coming in, right? I'm not good enough. I'm not doing a good enough job. I'm never going to catch up, all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, overwhelm is kind of keeps you in your tracks because you have to do so many things, and sometimes you just stop yourself because I cannot do this one and this one and this one.
It does. Yeah, it's a lot, like super parent or single parents are superheroes. Honestly, the amount of things that we do in keeping these little ones thriving as well as themselves. I mean, it's so much. It is so much.
Yeah. What do you do for yourself to keep yourself energized and looking as good as you do?
You're so sweet. Well, I would like to say that I go to the gym every day. No, I have a gym that just takes my money. Or get there, darn it. I will prioritize. I'm going to prioritize that. I just like to, I get outside whenever I can. I'm not the biggest winter person, but these dogs insist that I at least get outside a little bit a day. But I get outside, I stay busy with my girls. We have to find what brings us joy, right?
Yeah.
Even in 5 minutes. So if it's 5 minutes that I get to read my book, then I'm going to read my book for 5 minutes while that laundry sits piled up around me. Because it's so important to find 5 minutes of joy here and there throughout the day. A gratitude journal. That's super important to me. It just brings me peace at the end of the day, and it helps me end the day on a positive note. And I stay connected, even if it's just online with my friends. They keep me happy. They let me vent. They really bring me a lot of joy and peace. So it's your network, building a network, right? That makes you happy, that makes you feel safe and supported.
Yeah, and those things you mentioned are so important. I recommend to people to practice 10 minutes of joy every day. Do something that sets your soul on fire, whether it's gardening or singing or baking or taking yourself for a walk or connecting with your friends.
Yes.
But practice it like we practice brushing teeth and keeping good oral hygiene. Practice that to create a happiness muscle in you. And it's not to say it's everything unicorns and rainbows all the time, but it's something to maintain your level of overall kind of happiness.
Yeah, but even if it's just a text or a Facebook message to a friend, and
yeah,
you're not alone. I think that's so hard for single moms because a lot of us feel alone, right? We don't have a partner, so we're alone. And that's not the truth. It's not the truth, especially in this day and age. There's just so many ways to connect, even with strangers. I mean, we all have internet best friends that we've never met, right?
Right, right.
That
We
make
never
us
met in
laugh
person,
and
but
pump
here
us up, and we don't have to be alone. And that's so great.
yeah, yeah. For me, it also was like I was in my immediate family and friends, I was the only one, the single parent, and I felt weird.
Oh,
You know, you look everywhere, and what does normal look like? Everybody has a mom, dad, kids, and on
mm-hmm.
outside everything looks good and happy. And here you are, like an outsider looking in and wondering, like, what's going on, and not
Yeah.
finding that. But you're so right that now in this day and age we have this connection, we have groups, we have support, we have. This is why I created this podcast, because I wish there was like a place like that where people can come and learn, and just, you know, that everything's gonna work out.
Yes.
Hope is not lost. That's how this started. This
I
community.
love that. I love that. That's so wonderful that you did this and to create a space and inspiration for others, because a lot of people really don't feel that. I don't feel that. I know there's such a difference between now and my friends and my resources and my online communities than the first time around. I did feel alone, and I felt judged, and I felt failing, and I felt like I was such a failure, and I wasn't. I was winning. I was doing great. I was kicking ass at life. It was hard, but I did it, and my kids are happy and thriving, and I'm in the most wonderful place now. And I wouldn't have been if I finally hadn't left, if I hadn't gotten the courage to just do it.
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes we wait for something, we wait for something to change instead
Isn't
of.
that so funny? We wait so much in life for the right moment, for the right thing, for the right opportunity, the right person, we're always waiting.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes the fact that, the struggle or the fact that you left, it feels bad in the moment, but if you look in the long term, it maybe was a benefit because it allowed you to be where you are today.
Yes, yes,
Rediscover
that's
so
the
much
truth with me.
potential for yourself. And sometimes, when you have something good and it leaves, it means there is something greater that's coming.
Yes, I believe that is true. I believe that is true. And I mean, when you go through so many struggles, when life is a challenge for any amount of time, you get tired of that saying, "Oh, it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger," right? I'm strong enough, leave me alone, like. But I think another way to look at it is growth. I mean, that's what I focus on now. I've grown so much. I've learned so much. I don't look at it as, oh, yes, I struggled. Yes, I do. But that's not what I focus on anymore. I just focus on what I've learned and what I've grown and what I've accomplished, and I'm not talking financial, what you've accomplished, what you have, what fancy car you're driving. Are you happy? Are you happy in your little home, in your bubble, in your world when you come home now? Do you like your space? Is it safe? Is it happy?
Yes,
Then you're doing all right.
this is so true. It's not about the next car or the next house. It's about how you're feeling, how you're living your life on every single day, and
Yes,
the
yes.
habits that you have and the people that are around you. And if you're
Mhm.
happy where you are, then great, you're doing awesome.
Yes, yes.
If people would like to connect with you or learn more about you or work with you, where would they go?
You can find me on Facebook. I'm there most often with social media. You can also find me, learn more about my virtual assistant business at the Mindful VA.net. Um, and I welcome it. I welcome more friends, more people in my network, in my community.
Awesome.
Connections is what brings me joy. I love my kids laugh at me and I say my kids, but my oldest two are 24 and 28. They're like, "Mom, you make friends like a kindergartner. If you walk into a room and you don't know somebody, which you usually do, you're gonna walk out with a new best friend. Hi, I'm Stacey. Want to be friends?" And I laugh and I think that sounds so cheesy, but they're right. They're right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I just love connecting, you know? And I've met the most interesting people and found the most amazing opportunities from doing that, just connecting with the people on your journey.
Yes, yeah, and I think it's awesome that you retain that little thing, that because we all have this little 5-year-old inside of us. Even
Yes.
though we have these grown bodies, we have responsibilities, we have bills to pay, but on the inside we still little kids. And the fact that you retain that, that's amazing. You know, the openness and just coming up to people and, do you want to be my friend?
Yes, and you know, that's my true self. And like I said, with raising your kids, let them be their true self. Often if we're in a bad relationship, our true self gets squashed, right? We have to put that away and put out an act. And as an adult, we always have to feel like we have to measure up, we have to act a certain way, we have to dress a certain way, we have to just be a certain person. And I don't know if it's my age or just my journey. I'm just happy to be me. And if I'm that silly 5-year-old that picks things up and touches things in the store or stops and picks flowers or, hi, I'm Stacey, let's be friends, I'm happy. I don't care.
That's amazing. Thank you. If have I asked anything you want to say? Have I asked everything that I wanted to ask you?
I think so. Let me see. I have notes because I'm like a such short-term attention, like squirrel. Yeah, I just want to say that you can do it. Like things seem hard, but you can do it, you know? And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's true. I mean, we can do anything we set our mind to. And that can change every day. What do I want to do today? What's my priority today? But you know, just listen to your gut, and always listen to your gut, because you know, we all puts you in some bad spots if you don't, if you overlook that intuition. And I know, yeah, be yourself. Just be yourself. Who gives a crap? You're the one that has to look at yourself in the mirror every day, right?
That's right. There is nobody around. It's you and you.
Yes, yes, yes. I have a friend that wears tutus, like ballerina tutus, to almost everything. I mean, maybe not the grocery store, but it makes her happy. It makes other people happy. And she gets rude comments from people sometimes. They're like, why do you always wear a tutu? And she's like, because it makes me happy. So, and it makes other people happy. They're like, oh, I love it. She goes, oh, I got one for you too. And she'll pull one out of her bag. And I love that about her. I love that that makes her happy, and she doesn't give a hoot what other people think, right?
Yeah, I think that's the difficult part to overcome oftentimes. That we always think, what would somebody think about us?
Yeah, does it matter? Does it really matter?
Yeah, it doesn't.
I love that line. What other people think of me is not my business.
That's a good one. Thank you, Stacey, so much for coming on and sharing your story. I love talking with you. Any final words?
Any final words? No, I always feel pressure at that. No, just be yourself. Everybody else is taken. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a beautiful day.
You too.